First, there was Dueling Citizens, now Secrets from the Inside. Author Greg Meakin nails it again. Introducing Secrets from the Inside Radio Show. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Secrets from the Inside starts now. With your hosts, Greg Meakin, Val Olson, and Captain James McCormick.
Secrets from the Inside, episode 009. Good morning. I'm Val Olson. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Or am I imagining it?
It's real. It really is working this morning. We are in business. This is exciting.
Oh, let's start with a laugh. The life is a joke. It's crazy out there, but goodness, I'm so happy to be here with you, catching up. Seriously, been running by the seat of my pants, much like a Gen X male or people that are not retired like me, and so it's nice to sit down around your kitchen table. You answered the doorbell early today, Val.
Yes,
I'm here,
coffee's
present and accounted for. And I'll tell you what, your mic sounds good today. It sounds good today.
Wonderful. This is exciting. We'll see how long this lasts for.
Let's keep our fingers crossed here, right? Your mic sounds good to catch people up. There's been a little interference and stuff going on your side of the world, on the Twitter world, the last couple of episodes, Val. So I'm pleased to hear your voice clear as a bell here this morning. Fingers crossed.
Episode 009 today. Greg is Mr. Midnight. He sounds crystal clear, broadcasting live from Arizona. And Captain James will be joining the show today. Is Captain James in West Virginia, or where is he
today? Last I checked, West Virginia, but he can be anywhere. You know that, Val. He can be anywhere at any time, right, Val? Anyhow, actually texted with him this morning, and I think he's going to be dropping in. We never know when he's going to parachute in. And indeed, in past shows, he actually was not able to. But I think he's scheduled to drop in, and not sure what time, but he'll be ringing the doorbell, even though he doesn't have to because he's family. But I really hope Captain James can pop in today, Val. I really do.
Well, the door is open to him. He always rings the bell. It's so cute. He doesn't have to, but he does. So listen for the sound of the bell. That means we have company. We have guests.
Do you have that sound effect, Val? Because we can go retro and pretend I was, you remember when I rang the doorbell this morning, I don't know, 4 or 5 a.m., whatever. Do you have the bell? There you go. Now there you go.
I prefer the sound of a bell to you arriving with this following you. That should wake everyone up bright and early. Another episode of Secrets from the Inside, episode 009. We are an international radio show, the show everybody is going to be talking about, because this is where you come to learn secrets from the inside. Greg, what is on the show today? You're a little bit of everything. I could give you a proper introduction here.
I'll tell you what, it's so crazy out there. What do we start with is the big question. But on this show today, goodness, you put me on the spot a little bit there. I got to tell my secrets in advance.
No. Hold on. Before you drop too many secrets, I'm just going to give those of you that are joining for the first time just behind the scenes sneak peek of what is coming up and who Greg is. Greg Meakin calls himself a producer, publisher, and radio guy. But here's an inside secret from me. Greg is also the writer, the pre-show prep guy, a live producer, host, and guest, the post-show production guy, the publisher, and yes, the sales and marketing guy. Greg, over to you. Take it away.
Goodness, sorry, but no,
Oh,
sorry about
there we
that. I
go.
was on mic. I was just really loving you cooing over me there, Val. It was great. I put my mute on. Oh, thank you so much. Isn't this fun? For folks that have not listened before, this is the preview, the sneak preview, 15 minutes or thereabouts, 15 minutes until we go to our hard start. Hard start, Secrets from the Inside, every Wednesday is 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Then everybody else in the world can figure out the time zones, right? So,
Except in
yeah,
Alberta,
yeah.
that would be 10 a.m. Alberta local
10
time.
a.m. Alberta and 10 a.m. Arizona. Yes, indeed. But how fun. Isn't that fun, though? It's true. I work, as you probably well know, and I know a couple of our colleagues, including you, I work in multiple time zones. I'm not sure what the count was, like 6 or 7 of them, so when I did the 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern start, seriously, it was almost seriously just everybody else figured it out from there. What people don't realize, Arizona is really weird. This is the weirdest thing to me ever, Val, coming down from Seattle 4 years ago. Arizona lives half the year in one time zone, Pacific, and the other half of the year in Mountain. And I kid you not. I mean, it was weird to me because I've lived in where we have daylight saving time. We, turn our clocks, whatever. But Arizona does not turn its clocks. So half the year we're on an hour different time. It was really bizarre. I say bizarre because I've walked into my Seattle Seahawks football games, tune in and say, wait a minute, it's like an hour late start here, So pre-dementia mind, I have a hard time figuring out stuff like that, like time zones and very basic math. So I'll turn it back to you a little bit here, Val. We're going to be getting down about 6 minutes to our hard start. Just kind of talk to me about a little bit of Miss Val, our military radio gal, as Captain McCormick describes you. Just catch me up a little bit. We got a nice looks like we're ahead of the game here with 6 minutes to our hard start, and just catch me up a little bit on your end, Val.
Lots going on. I'm working some news files. I have files on my desk. These are the carryover files. It's almost year end, and you want to clean things up. But in my world, things are, they're in high gear. I will be working over Christmas, spending it at home with my family. And I'm organized, I'm ready, and, let's see, I'll drop a secret for you because I know the kids aren't listening this morning. We are getting a family pet, and this is a big thing for us, huge, like, it's a big deal, and I know that there's going to be lots of exciting cheers and tears, and, for our 11-year-old, this is answered prayer, will be answered prayer. It's a big deal, right? It's a member. We're welcoming a member into our family. So
That's amazing.
any
I'm
tips?
thrilled for you, for Olivia, right? For Olivia. I'm
Yeah.
thrilled. You're
Well, it's the
not
family pet.
just knowing you the past couple of years. You're not really an animal person, are you, Val? Like you haven't had pets around you for the most part. Fill me in on that, and can you reveal your first secret of the day of telling me what kind of pet's coming in or not? It's
Yes,
Christmas time, so presents.
I am not a pet person. I had a cat once, and when we lost the cat, I mean the cat died. It was awful, and I just was like, no more, never again. However, I recognize that our girls really, really, really want a puppy, and I get one shot to do this. And so, it's not all about me, me, me. And I didn't want to look back and have them miss out on that experience. So I was thinking one of those cute little puppies that fit in the teacup. And my husband was like, no, like that's just, it's pointless. And so we talked through it, and we've decided on a little Shih Tzu. So that will be arriving into our home unit, our nest soon. And so we're just making all the preparations. And I'm just really excited. I'm going to be watching closely, just watching her because she really has earned this. and she's so responsible and loving and caring, and I think it's important to have a pet. I never had a pet as a kid, and I don't wanna take that away from my kids. So, that's what's happening behind the
Well,
scenes.
how cool is that? Your life is gonna change just like when you have babies, your life changes, right? That's really cool. Do you have a name yet? Have you named it yet, or her, or will that happen when she comes?
I think I'm gonna let the kids. I wanna, I want everybody to be a part of it. The puppy is 12 weeks old and comes with the name Yo-Yo, so that's not what I have in mind. I I'm thinking, like, I love, I might use James, one of James' dog's names, because Bravo. I think
Oh,
I
that's
love that. I think
beautiful.
that's cute. I'm gonna suggest
Right.
that. Knowing my girls, they'll probably suggest a name like Liberty.
Ooh.
We're a very freedom-minded family around here, so,
You
it'll
know
be
what?
something political
I
probably.
was never an animal person until, of course, I got married to my wife Deborah, whose actual name is Ellie Mae Clampett. Right, Ellie Mae Clampett. Animals, dogs, cats. Your life's going to change beautifully. What I recommend sounds funny, but don't name the dog after you interact with it, because the dog will usually name itself once it looks you in the eyes. And definitely have it. It's a
Oh,
20-year gig. People don't realize an animal's a 20-year gig. And so a name is a real important thing, but definitely I can't wait to hear what Olivia's ideas are, Erica's ideas, your ideas, but definitely don't name it until you've interacted with the dog. There you go. There's my
okay.
Ellie Mae
Good tip.
Clampett of the day. We're almost at that time.
Great
We're
tip.
almost at that time. Hard start here, Val. I'm going to throw not a curveball here, but let's do our hard start. Do you remember we've been juggling videos and intros and stuff as we've been producing this wonderful product, Secrets from the Inside. As we start at the top of the hour here, can you play that little intro we talked about this morning? I think it was Chris Branham out of Wisconsin did it, and it was the actual Dueling Citizens intro that I started using almost 2 years ago. But if you want to start the show with that, let's do it. And either way, I'm back to you here. We're getting on a hard start time at the top of the hour.
Author Greg Meakin nails it. The border catastrophe, gas prices, and runaway inflation, the education mess. Greg sorts it all out and offers Greg's list solutions. Now presenting Dueling Citizens with Greg Meakin.
Well, there you go. That was beautiful. Val, Secrets from the Inside 009. Go ahead and start our day here. Give us a start.
Secrets from the Inside, episode 009. I am the facilitator of the show. Greg Meakin is the host, and our co pilot, James McCormick. Captain James will be joining the show today, unless he is called to an emergency situation, or he could be welcoming his new grandbaby. It just depends on, but we are your trifecta of freedom. We care, we know what's going on, and by listening to our show, you are going to learn things. We will make you smarter. New news gets its news right here. You can also follow up, visit my website, get caught up, valolsonnews.com. And X is where we platform this show each and every Wednesday. It's a little bit rainy here in Arizona today, but I'm not complaining. Rain in the desert, nothing to complain about there. I hear in Alberta there's still it's dry there. Like, I haven't had any reports of snowfall, but weather can change momentarily. So if there's conditions we need to know about, you can tweet us, you can text us, you can email us. There's so much going on Alberta related. Stick around. Probably maybe the last part of the show, or maybe we could get into halfway through just an AB 51 update, because I know there's lots of stuff AB 51 related. Greg, over to you.
Well, thank you. That's an awesome intro. Yes, yes, yes. Alberta, you brought that subject up, and we've been talking about it a lot. Actually, I'll front load this a little bit. Normally, don't do it this way, but let's talk a little bit of Alberta up front. I love throwing you curveballs, Val. But let's definitely do this. Let's take a segment in this show, indeed, maybe a little bit later, to drill down into it. But let's touch real briefly, front loaded, as I say. Let's talk about this first. Before I do start, I'm definitely going to plug my website and YouTube channel, because stuff is rolling out literally, as you know, Val, every 24 hours right now. My website's gregmeakin.com. If people are listening for the first time, that's spelled GregMeakin.com. And my YouTube channel is at Greg Meakin. I always love that, right, Val? Just at Greg. I only use my name on stuff so no one can sue me, right? Or copyright. Anyhow, let's do this early in the show. You actually kind of broke a story today. You shared a story for the first time, as usual, on social media, and your news sources came out of the trending section of my website. And typical Val Olson, where new news gets its news. You were on top of the story. I released it. You released it, and I think it's going to be talked about a lot. Okay, between now and the third week of January. You want to do the honors here? You want to do a quick read on that, Val? I always remember. I remember last week I read my stuff. Do you remember that?
I do.
You're also, man, you're the second best reader I know in Arizona. So you want to do that and just take a good hard hit on that press release, because it was a pretty short one. The only thing I forgot when I did the posting on this morning was the very last category was going to be, and I forgot this on the press release, I'll update it. It's going to be celebrity guests. I don't think that's on the website, but that will be one of them. But anyhow, you do a quick read through on that, because goodness, it is trending story.
For those of you that want to follow along, gregmeakin.com. And once you unlock getting into his website, trending section is where I'm reading from. Calgary radio show on January 22nd. There is news, there is new news, and there is where new news gets its news. Special announcement. There will be a special episode of Secrets from the Inside on January 22nd. The show will be hosted in Calgary and Edmonton, Alberta. There will also be a live feed from Phoenix, Arizona. Secrets from the Inside with Greg Meakin. Special episode $4.99. Nationwide, worldwide live stream, January 22nd, 2024. 12 o'clock noon Alberta time. Undisclosed locations, private event, strictly invitation only, and celebrity guests will be in attendance. For information, email Greg Meakin at gregmeakin2020@gmail.com. All inquiries confidential. But please, no loser trolls, operatives, or spammers. Thanks. GM, gregmeakin.com. YouTube at Greg Meakin.
Wow. When's the last press release you had that used the word trolls and operatives?
That's with an S. Taught myself, because operatives don't travel in packs of one.
Read
right?
that line. That was like an asterisk at the bottom. I'd like you to read just that line, and hit hard on it for fun, right? Because I will say, seriously, Val, we've talked about this stuff for 2 years. I try to put humor in everything, even if it breaks the rules. There's press releases and then there's Greg press releases, right? But really, read that for fun. I had a giggle doing that. And hit hard on it.
All inquiries confidential. But please, no loser trolls, operatives, or spammers. Thanks, Greg Meakin. So, how do you ID the operatives? I know how I do it, but how do you do it? How do you ID them? First, They have a flavor and they have a smell too. So it's very, very easy. Spammers, whatever you do, stay away. And you can also follow Greg Meakin too on YouTube at Greg Meakin. Greg, over to you. Take yourself off mute.
Oh goodness, thank God I was on mute, man. I'll tell you what, you're off to the races already, Val. This is great. You know, we're only like 8 minutes in, and you haven't even said the word communist yet. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You haven't said that word yet. No, this is great. Very, very seriously. That was a press release put out this morning. I think 8:45 my time, and the key folks that are going to be involved in this. It's a live stream. It's going to be. I'm just really excited about it. The key players that are going to be involved are already kind of quietly notified. We have folks attending quietly behind the scenes and or by Zoom drop-in that are already apprised of this. So how's that for a cool teaser right there, Val? But thank you so much. It's going to be a radio show it's going to be based out of Calgary and likely Edmonton. It's going to be on the 22nd of January. And just kind of stay tuned on that one. I really am excited. Everything fell together pretty quickly, and I'm excited. One person for sure. Imagine this, Val, who's going to be there is Governor James McCormick. Did I say governor?
Yes.
So let's get teasers left and right. Okay. No, fun. You'll be posting on this. I'll be posting on this. I'm sure I'm going to have a story or two or a trending story to come out. But the people so far, the very small handful of folks. Boy, as a matter of fact, Arizona. In case a human being up in Alberta doesn't know, Arizona has a little team. It's called the AZ-48 team. AZ-48 for folks that aren't sure of U.S. history. Arizona was the 48th state, and to enter into the Union, Arizona went kicking and screaming. By the way, Val, they were like Texas. They didn't want to be part of the United States. They wanted to be independent. But anyhow, great story about Arizona. Sheriff Mark Lamb's from Hawaii. I think that's either 49 or 50. Boy, wonks, go ahead and fact check that. But in a fun way, if you would, it's weird. Our little team down here, and these are the folks that are kind of apprised to this kind of stuff we're breaking right now. Val, this is big stuff, January 22nd. I'm so excited. I got so many friends in Calgary and so many friends in Edmonton, and a lot of them don't even know it's happening yet. So it's going to be fun, really fun. And lots of stuff will happen between now and then. But for folks that have never listened to us and or followed the Alberta 51, which is the Alberta USA movement, wanting to be the 51st state. Boy, long story there, but there's still a website there, ab51vote.com, ab51vote.com. The official, you remember this forensic poll closed down July 31st. But we have quietly had the website hanging there and still get kind of comments and stuff privately. Very cool, Val. Very cool. As you know, we did our quote referendum. I won't make this a referendum show, but we did a referendum, and you're very well aware of this, Val. There were votes that trickled in, even though the account stopped at July 31st, in August, and then even in September. In full disclosure, they were all yes votes. It was so cool. You know that, that inside scoop. But on the website itself, full disclosure, I like people to know who AZ-48 is. I did a fun little tab called Our Little Team. And you remember the very first time I developed that title, Val, because you're the behind the scenes person. Without not a full read, but maybe just the names and either the quick first line or whatever of who our little team is down here in Arizona. Because there are people, I can't believe it. There are people on the Alberta side, including some of the 51 groups that don't know this, that we are a specific independent team down here. You want to take 2-3 minutes on that, Val? Sorry to be a little verbose here, but it's good. There's so many people that are honestly, there's so many people that are just catching up. Honestly, they haven't done their homework, Val. Seriously. So
So is that how? Sorry, I'm ready to go. I'd love 5 or 6 or 7. What's the number of team members? And then I'll go right into that, Greg. How many are on the Arizona 48 delegation? The number.
ooh, man, I wasn't expecting a pop quiz today. I'll tell you in 2 seconds here, okay? Because I don't have it in front of me. I'm one of the few people. I don't ever do show
Okay.
prop. It's yeah, it's like 5 or 6. Um, Goodness, I'm ashamed of myself there.
Okay, well, I'll wait for you to confirm that, and I'll get started on just bringing everyone up to speed on our little team. The Arizona 48 delegation. This has been a grassroots, all volunteer passion for us. The team members below have not been compensated in any way and have invested endless time and treasure to educate and promote Alberta, USA. All costs, including launching this website, have been out of pocket so far, and we are proud of that accomplishment. So, if you want to read about the little team, who they are, there's pictures, there's interesting tidbits. You will find that under our little team on alberta51vote.com. And Greg, you just let them know. Do they need to make column a 5 or a column a 6 or a column a
No,
7?
you know what? Seriously, this is fun. I love impromptu conversations. This is what long form radio is about. If you would, I'll give you full permission here. Just read the names, that just the names, and quick little line about them on your end. I think it starts with me, but then it's right. So that's an easy one, and then it's Val Olson, and I believe the sheriff's there and Gordy's there and stuff. But just do a quick like one liner on the names, and maybe a quick little Val 20-second line or two about each one. Seriously, it's fun because honestly, I love reading. You know this. I love reading stuff on the air because then it becomes a clip, and it's a way to educate folks once you share the clip on the YouTube channel and stuff. So take a quick minute on the names and just a quick little synopsis of each one. This is kind of cool. You can start with the top one at the very, very, very top. I think that's Greg Meakin.
Greg is the instigator of this poll and the plan to involve the U.S. Senate. A dual citizen, hockey guy, Meakin was raised in Montreal and spent most of his adult life in the Seattle area. Sheriff Mark Lamb, now candidate for the United States Senate. He is a living legend in Arizona, and there are volumes of information and videos about him online. Sheriff Lamb has been a huge supporter of the Alberta 51 movement, and he encourages eligible Albertans to vote yes. And he says, let's do it. Gordon Kessler is a former Alberta MLA and Alberta separatist. He is a dual citizen, now retired in Arizona, and has authored 4 novels. Gordon writes mostly about his exciting and dangerous years as an oil rig industry spy. And yours truly, I'm a Canadian journalist and broadcaster from Medicine Hat, now living in Arizona, where I continue to embark on my 20-year career. Mike Phillip is a feisty radio guy with a career spanning over 3 decades. A dual citizen and devoted pastor, Mike spreads the gospel on his daily national radio show while spreading the message of freedom to his listeners. And Captain James McCormick. We are so very proud to have Captain James McCormick on our little team. James showed a personal interest in the Alberta 51 mission as soon became a passionate vocal supporter. His national radio show, Continue Mission, and has hosted Gordon Kessler, Greg Meakin, and I was thrilled to be on the show as well. So that's just a little sneak peek. You can read more by visiting our website, alberta51vote.com. And on this website, this is the history making website. This is where so many of you from Alberta visited and had your voices heard. I heard yesterday, just a little sneak peek from the inside. There are some like influencers, big political guys at the top, Alberta top. And apparently, they are just learning about our website, visiting our little website. So they have lots to get caught up on. It's never fun not doing your homework. So hopefully this morning, they have their pen and paper handy, and that's Alberta51vote.com, and they are going to join the 857,523 plus that stop by the website and use it for inspiration, use it for news, and a lot of people just want to know what your daily life is going to look like in America. I have conversations all the time with just everyday Albertans, friends and neighbors. And they're like, okay, Val, just point blank, tell us what is it like? Daily life. So that's probably my favorite spot on our website. If this was a cassette tape, it would be worn out from clicking on your daily life. But I wanna bring the big dogs along because it's
Uh,
embarrassing for them that they don't know what's going on. So they're playing catch up. So under your daily life is the best. It's probably my favorite. Uh, do we have some time to maybe go through the list, or do you
you know
want
what?
to just
That's
hold off on
God.
that for
This is
now?
great, and I love long form impromptu radio. This is great. Um, a fabulous read through on our little team. It's important to know who we are. The AB51vote.com website. As a matter of fact, perfect. Not on the schedule, but I'll have you if you have time to read. Just hit on the points. I'm going off of memory. I think there's 16. My memory's terrible at my old age here. But feel free. Again, I'm stunned. Actually, Val, you brought this up. I'm stunned that just from a research standpoint, there are so many, and I'm talking so many people that have no idea the current info, just news about the AB51 movement. I'm just blown away. You mentioned this, that a lot of people, and I know this too, a lot of people kind of just tuning into stuff like this. This is 6 months old. This is a year old stuff, Val. We know that. You know that. I know that. But even if it's
Oh,
for
hold
just a
on.
point of view, this is Tucker Carlson's specialty here. You just want a point of view. And then we look at all points of view, in this case, AZ48's point of view, and what we're doing about it, not talking about it, doing about it, and what we have done about it, and what we're continuing to do about it. I am blown away. I really mean it, Val. I mean it. I'm just a madhouse researcher and due diligence person from my 40 years in business. And I'm stunned that there's so many people up there that honestly, I mean, have no idea what's even going on. They're either fighting amongst themselves or they don't know who they're targeting as an audience. I said targeting like a Canadian. Targeting. I'm getting my Canadian accent coming back here, Val. But I'm surprised. That said, full permission here, because there are going to be people that really listen to this for the very first time. Read through just the benefits. This is what should be on billboards up there. These are called benefits. How does this affect our lives as Albertans? You mentioned the 857-523. We're talking about identified registered Alberta voters who would vote yes in a provincial referendum, providing it was an up or down question. Do you want Alberta to be the 51st state of the United States? Yes, no, undecided. Simple. The poll was, God, I didn't think it was going to be a forensic poll thing here, but because we'll do full episodes on this down the road. But do take a minute on the vote website, because this website, as you know, this was the funnel, the portal, to really the heart of Alberta and the people in Arizona. I'm Arizona, Alberta. I do that faux pas all the time. And but do read through them. Just hit hard on them. And honestly, people, I think that's Jesse in the background, my Belgian sheepdog. He's always wanting to try and get some airtime here, Val. But go ahead and hammer on them, because these are things that should be on billboards. This is all that matters to the 857,000. I think it's over 1 million, but we won't talk about that. Go ahead, Val. Go ahead. I'm going to sit back and turn it over to you.
Okay, I'm not sure if my mic cut out there for a minute. we have a class war going on in Alberta. So I was talking about the big dogs at the Alberta top. Like they have a ceiling. Uh and I'm talking about like the political class, the big dogs. Those guys. I'm not talking about local Alberta. I'm a localizer, and so when I localize, I'm talking at the at home slash community level. That's the real zone, okay? Not where they suck the oxygen. So uh they I heard through the grapevine that the ones who identify themselves at the very top, like self-identify, they have just heard about the Alberta51vote.com website and the forensic poll that Albertans are embracing and continue to embrace and love it. And how can you not? Because it's all about coming here, being here, staying here, and the benefits. Positive, positive, positive. So from day one of Alberta, USA, you will enjoy dual citizenship forever, retain your Canadian citizenship, new Alberta healthcare, just like Canada, but American world class care. Pensions guaranteed in US dollars, 45 cents per liter gas, groceries reduced by 25%, 3 times selection of consumer goods, 75% less taxes, no provincial income tax, carbon tax, etc. Work at any US company, unrestricted travel to 50 other states, no language laws, household income jumps by 25% plus, easy to start a business, free to own legal firearms, 50% lower utility bills, and choose from 3 to 5 schools for your kids, no cost education. And cell phones drop to $75 per month. This is a big one. When we say $75 per month, that's like 3 phone lines for sure. I just added a fourth and it's under $100. I kid you not. Unlimited, unlimited. I can call anywhere I want. It is fantastic. All right. So that's what daily life. So when you wake up and you want to escape, like maybe today is the day you're like, oh, get me out of here. I didn't sign up for this. I want more for my family. You are the changer in your family. You control your destiny, not some loser politician that was selected for you. Okay. That's not how this works. We want to encourage you, motivate you, and get excited because this is happening. We are on mission. Over to you, Greg.
Boy, that was awesome. That was awesome. Isn't that amazing, that checklist? That sounds better and better. We were talking about that a year ago, Val. And
Yes.
we invited people at the time, please add to it, question it, whatever. These are things open for debate. This is stuff we're supposed to kick around. Dueling citizens. You know, no matter what side of the aisle you're from, 80-20, I think most humans believe in 80% of the same things, and it's the 20% that we wrestle over, as Captain James says, wrestle over. So we talk about the 20%, we kick it around, we come to common ground, Val, and then we move forward, hopefully with a common mission. That's dueling citizens. You read through those benefits, and as they say, they just have they just have to be on billboards. It's called benefits. What will happen? If people think it can't happen, hey, let us know. We'll chit chat about that too, right, Val? About how it can happen. Either way. While you're on this roll, I didn't expect this. As usual, long form, turn on a dime radio. You read that so well, and I know that this is the first time people are going to be listening. There's also the second tab, which is as important, if not more important, and that's state constitution. Remember that one? And I mean, boy, I kicked around this page with a lot of folks. And if you have that page on the AB51vote.com website, just hammer that out. I like that. If anything, I'll create a YouTube clip from it. I think there's already one on there, but this is really, really cool. It's almost like now that it's almost 2024, Val, the stuff is sounding better and better because the truth is easy to sell, right? The truth is easy to sell. Do you have that page and just hammer on those points if you do, Val? Thanks so much on this reading time. You're my favorite grade 4 reader, right, Miss Val? State Constitution, if you've got it, just hammer through that one. Thank you.
Okay, all right. You know what? I am in mommy mode. Sometimes I have to, step in, and boys that are fighting in the background here, okay? Look, sit down, be quiet, and listen, okay? There's no need to be hitting and word punching and kicking and fighting, okay? Now is not the time for fighting. You need to sit down and listen. All right, new state constitution, Alberta, USA. In addition to the protections featured in most US states, the following is a snapshot of rights that can be written specifically into the new state constitution of Alberta, USA. Premium Alberta healthcare for all citizens at no or low cost. Multi-school choice at no cost to parents. Pensions guaranteed in US funds. No state income tax or carbon taxes. Free speech, press, and assembly. Right to own legal firearms. State police, military protection, border security, generous royalties to citizens for oil profits, no unlawful search and seizure, including freezing bank accounts, and stop equalization payments. Now, that's enough to stop the little word fight that's going on behind the scenes here. Okay? These are grown up decisions. So if you want to be an adult and be at the table, you get to make a choice for yourself. But around here, we do not hold the facts back and the rights back from the people. We are moving forward because it's all about freedom. Greg, back to you.
Well, we never know what every show's going to be, right, Val? God, this is great stuff. The funny thing about it, I'm still pinching myself. This is review for us, Val, and we're totally open to conversation on this, right? Tell you what, I'm going to ask you a question right out of the blue. You sitting down? You buckled up? You got your hockey helmet on, Val?
Yes, ready to go.
Because remember, underneath it all, I'm still a reporter too, right? Investigative journalist, 1978. Some good stories back then. Anywho, I'm going to ask you a question, and because you've asked me about 100 times on the air this same question, and my answer is always the same. I'm going to ask you a question. When did you really recognize the United States, the USA, kind of in your gut? I had my time back then, but share that, because that might be a secret from the inside for the show. But when did you recognize the USA? When did you kind of in your gut want to either come here or whatever? Back to you on that, Val. Do whatever you want, say whatever you want, take as much time as you want. What does the USA mean to you?
Okay. I was a little girl, and I have talked about that on the air, how, never visiting the USA, but just knowing that there was this deep, deep connection. So I will take you back to a moment in history, and that moment might be closer to home than you think. You very well might recall this memory.
I'm disappointed about having to leave Edmonton. I truly admire all the fans and respect everyone over the years. But
Do you remember that moment, Greg?
you just replayed the press conference where Wayne Gretzky announced that he's being traded to Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Kings.
Yes. Yes.
Val, do I remember that? I watched that. We watched it. We're from Montreal. We know everything about hockey. Okay. Changed my mind there. Changed my mind. Gretzky, it really was one of the biggest news stories of the decade, and maybe even the century for Canada, especially for Alberta and its own identity, and Edmonton Oilers and Gretzky and number 99 and all that stuff. But here's a secret from the inside, Val, and I'm going to turn it back to you on this because this meant a lot, obviously, to you. I can't believe you bring up a hockey video. But the secret from the inside is we watched that. It was in Montreal, and anyone from Montreal understands this. We were really gourmet hockey guys. We were what's called Original Six. That's the old Original Six teams. We were highly critical of some of the young players, new players, non-Original Six players. And Gretzky was one of those guys. We followed him real closely. We were so impressed, like as the time went on. But I'll get into that. That's a full episode. But he did this press conference, and believe it or not, Val, because I said, no, this is the biggest decision the guy's ever made in his life, going from being a pure Canadian. He's out of Brantford, Ontario, pure Canadian, pure Alberta guy, and then, quote, getting traded and allowing himself to be traded to the United States. In this case, California. Imagine that. In this case, LA. Imagine that. And we sat back in Montreal and say, number one, that's the smartest thing we've ever seen a person do. Wait till you see this guy's brand in about 5 years because he's coming to the States. He did it in order to really, because of his wife, Janet. She's American. But here's the secret is there are a lot of people, and this really pisses me off about trolls and operatives and negative people, okay? There was an element back east that was saying crocodile tears. This guy really didn't mean what he's saying and blah, blah, blah. I'm saying, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So the only humor I want to bring to this is Gretzky was traded to the LA Kings. Huge. He became part of America. And my 2023 comment would be, let's do another one. Let's do another trade. Let's trade Alberta. Let's trade Alberta to the United States for Taylor Swift. And you also have to take Justin Bieber back. How about that? Straight up. Alberta for Taylor Swift. But you have to take Bieber back, okay? I'm going to turn it back to you. I know this, for you to even play this was moving to you. Take as long as you want here, Val. I've given my little feedback there, and there's more. There's more there. But that was huge. I was 19 years old when this happened, and it was a huge story. And it, to this day, remains a huge story. Wayne Gretzky, he's an example to the world, okay, about how having one's ducks in a row and going about your business, okay? Not just a hockey player, not just a brand. I mean, ducks in a row, nice guy. He made the right decision back then. And if anyone questions his decision back then, just take a look at 2024 and compare notes. Alberta and Canada versus 99 down in the States. How about that? Okay, back to you, Val. I've opined here.
So children can be the best judge of character. Okay, there are some children that are very perceptive. And you could say I was one of those kids. And I remember this clip. I was 7 years old. It was on the TV. And I was just fixated on this. And I was like, who is this guy? You know, I'm not a hockey fan. Who is he? Like, who is he for Canada? So I will share some of the questions that I had. Okay. Who is he? And why does he care so much about little kids? Like a just it's so obvious, right? So you know, the adults in the room, I remember just kind of like, he's a hockey player, he's going to the United States. I'm like, well, yeah, but he is a hero. Like, he really cares about children. Really, really genuinely cares. And I can confirm, yes, those tears were real from a 7-year-old, highly perceptive, gifted child. Real, legit, and that was my first memory of looking into why the USA and where do I fit in the USA. So he inspired a generation of youth to look outside, to look further down the road, and don't be afraid to go for your dreams. So that is where my love adventure for the United States began. And I remember seeing palm trees and, just beautiful scenes and learning about the USA and what it stands for, what it represents. Really, who the United States is on the global stage. So, Alberta, this is our 99. This is our moment. This is our time. And dream big, buckle up. It's going to be a great year as we wind down the end of the year. I wanted to say school year because it really feels like a school year. As we wind down 2023, get ready for 24. Some big changes are coming. Back to you.
Well, just wow. That's a capital W, capital O, capital W. I didn't know hockey affected you so much, Val, but it clearly did. Bottom line, sports is life. Life is sports. But that's a fabulous conversation. I'll tell you what. And you're talking about real kind of fun, edgy stuff as well. I want to, if we can, I just kind of want to wrap this segment up. Just this segment. We'll go on to definitely something else. I do want to kind of reach out before I move on. Reach out to, because it's stuff we've talked about, Val, and it's so important right now. I think everybody, I hope everybody out there, and I'll talk directly to folks up in Alberta, know whose team everybody is on. Because I'll tell you what, all everything aside, Val Olson, Greg Meakin, we're on the AB51 team. We're for AB51. Gordy Kessler's for AB51, Sheriff Mark Lamb's for AB51, and of course, our dear captain, the Captain Major Commander James McCormick in West Virginia is not only on for AB51, he has volunteered, and I've nominated him to be the first governor when that happens. And so anyone that's not familiar with these names or whatever, just again, let's chat about it. I'm really concerned. And I always have been, Val, this is not my first rodeo, right? Oh, I don't even ride horses. I told Gordy Kessler this. I don't even ride horses, but I feel like I've been on a half a dozen rodeos in my life, and been bucked off a bunch. Ain't no horse can't be rode. Ain't no cowboy can't be throwed. I've been throwed so many times, Val, but you know that. I just encourage everybody to say we're all on the same team. You're either AB51 or you're not, and that's fine. That's fine. Let's talk about it. Let's debate it. Let's not worry about who's in power, control, whatever. At both, the local, state, group, national levels, it doesn't matter who's in charge here. It's a matter of AB51, yes or no. It's simple. If no, that's fine. If yes, that's fine. But may it be the will of the people. And the most dangerous thing in the whole world is trying to take down each other who are on the same team. Captain James and I have this chat all the time because it happens in the military, Val. All the time. It happens in sports all the time. Beware someone who has to be the leader, because I believe all great leaders out there are reluctant leaders. They know the price of war. They know the price of sports. They're reluctant leaders because they know what it means to send kids into battle. And beware a leader that's desperate to be the leader, because the cliche is that's someone who needs to be captain of the ship and will let it go down. So didn't expect it to say that, but I just really am reaching out to what I see as one single team, and that's AB 51 yes votes. Everybody else is lost coins or lost lambs until we chat about it. If you're a no, you're a no. That's fine. If you're undecided, that's fine. But let's talk about it. So thank God it's my own show. Other than that, I wouldn't be able to do these kind of monologues. But it's from my heart. It really bothers me. It bothers me. You see teams, you know me and teams, but you see teams out there that go on a little bit of a losing streak, and then they want to fire everybody, or they want to, go into the press and insult each other from within. It's easy to win. It's easy to win. Winning's easy. It's how you act when you're losing, or when you're not in charge, or you're not in control, or whatever. How do you act then? Because the great leaders are the ones that are that have the deepest humility and victory. You know that, Val. You know that. So thank you for that monologue. I really didn't expect it, but I wanted to finish up on that. If you have anything else,
Quick
yes,
question.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just do we have 1 minute that we could maybe, like on my end, I could get into just 60 seconds of the lion mentality, or do we want to just hold that over because I'm ready to go?
You just go. You follow your heart on this. You've allowed me monologues like this. Go ahead.
This lion is the king of the jungle. Huge mane on the hill. He's laying down under a tree in the middle of Africa. He's so big. He's so hot. He doesn't want to move. Now, the little lion comes. They start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do it. Now, they notice this. And they start to move in. The jackals, hyenas, barking at him, laughing at him. Till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is. It's too late to be scared. It's time to kill. The lion is the
So it's always, nature has a way of taking care of business, and that's what we're doing. It's Secrets from the Inside, episode 009. I'm Val Olson, the facilitator of the show, the behind-the-scenes person who's pushing all the buttons. And this is Greg Meakin's Secrets from the Inside. We are unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled, undoxed, with lots of laughing and life lessons along the way. I can't wait for Captain James to pop in. He should be here soon.
Oh boy, I sure hope he is. Captain James McCormick, look him up, as they say. I would love for him to pop in. I'm actually thinking he might not. He's been so busy. Because the thing that he does, Val, just to kind of jump branches here, what James does is, because he's got 50,000 Purple Heart veterans living that he ministers to. I mean, he's the contact guy, right? And he's in West Virginia. Won't get into full bio here. Retired captain, war hero. He knows Donald Trump. He knows George W. Bush. He's met all the other presidents in our lifetimes. And not only does he do his regular West Virginia stuff, like fixing his washer dryer and his 3 dogs, Bravo, Charlie, and Cookie, and doing his Digging History podcast, because he's just an avid searcher guy, right, of artifacts and stuff with his radar, and it's just awesome back there. Digging History, most fun podcast ever. But so often, James, I text him, I say, can you be on or whatever? He's saying, no, I've got to do so-and-so, which is, real big stuff, maybe national security stuff. But most importantly, I told Deborah this the other night. He's so in demand. He has a hard time saying no to stuff because he's such a nice guy, an angel, a war hero. We've got so many YouTube videos featuring James McCormick, but he takes calls. This is what he does, and he has a heart of gold. He takes calls from like, I'm going to tell you, Purple Heart guys, veteran guys. Suicidal guys. There's last count, there was over 22 veterans daily that still kill themselves down here, Val. That's not even a secret from the inside. It's over 20 a day, and it's even climbing in this last year or two. So James will take calls from those guys, Val. And so as lighthearted as we have been about so many things, especially on the show, because I think it's important to laugh at life, laugh at ourselves, and like Hawkeye Pierce in MASH, try and find humor in everything. But sometimes things are just serious as a heart attack. And our veterans, our law enforcement heroes, our first responder heroes. These are the people we care about. We care about, obviously, God and family and freedom and all that stuff. But boy, I tell you what, like we've said to James so many times, without you guys, he's got a network of 200,000-300,000 people plus, Val, in Canada, in Alberta, and in the United States. I said, without you guys, we ain't nothing. We're not here on the radio talking. I grew up in Quebec. People grew up in Europe. People grew up on the Eastern Bloc. Things like freedom of expression and speech and stuff, they're not guaranteed, Val, like we're seeing right now. I can't believe what we're seeing right now. Not only in Europe, but now Canada. Don't get me, I'm already on a rant. But so indeed, James might not be in today, but I guarantee he's serving. He's serving someone somewhere. I promise you he is. And maybe he'll be on the next episode, but I'll virtually guarantee you this. He's going to be there January 22nd. It might not be Calgary. It might be the live stream through West Virginia, or Mississippi, or Hamilton, Ontario, and Ohio, whatever. But I guarantee you, James will be there, present, and accounted for. And I'll turn it back to you on that one. Boy, that was a monologue on our Captain James. He calls you Miss Val. Miss Val, our military radio gal, by the way. Forget Tokyo Rose. We got the Alberta Rose, right? We got Val Olson. And I'll tell you what, here we go, because it's my show. I can't tell you, Val Olson, I can't tell you how loved and respected you are. I can't tell you, especially down in the States, from Cap McCormick to Sheriff Mark Lamb to everybody. I can't tell you how deeply respected you are because of your courage. Okay? If you hadn't planned on hearing that today, I just told you that you are so deeply respected. And where you go, Val, we go. Okay? As I say, 5'1", and we'll just punch you right in the nose about politics, right? Remember that, Val. So back to you on that one. Back to you, and we can go to our next segment. It looks like we're going to be closing down in about 9 minutes based on what I'm looking at on my time. So back to you. I'll kick back. Okay, I'll kick back. I have my A&W root beer with me today, Val. Miss Deb recommended that just to kind of keep me on task through the radio show.
Well, I want to talk to some people back home in Alberta. I spent the majority of my career across Alberta. My name is known far and wide in Western Canada. And when I talk, people will listen. I take that seriously. Be authentic. That's what you're up against. And I think the infiltrators need to be reminded of that. You're not going to get away with it. You're exposed for the jackals you are. If you go back to the beginning of the show, we talk about the smell, the flavor. I see you. I know you. You don't intimidate. You don't threaten. I know your ceiling. So it's about time we start talking about that ceiling. 2024 is going to be a great year in Alberta because things are being cleaned up. You know, it's time for a deep clean. It's been a long time since we've done some scrubbing and cleaning. That mess is about to be exposed. Are along for the ride. We talked about class. We talked about the classes in Alberta. There's a class problem. There's an issue going around and on in the community at home level where everybody does business. There's the political and elite class, and then there's everybody else. And what happens from that political class is you get these infiltrators who like to infiltrate side, and they like to disrupt, and they like to control. And communism's a real problem in Alberta. Don't laugh about it, look at it. You know, when things aren't right in the neighborhood or a little political movement, it's not right. Do not just think it's you. Pay attention and stand up and don't be afraid. There's not very many left. Like I can count on one hand about these closet AB 51 supporters. Like, what kind of loser are you that in one side you call yourself a big shaker mover, big talker, oh, you influence so many. Well, it's not very many when you're too scared to stand up and say what you stand for. You're not a supporter, you're a loser, and you're an infiltrator, and you're exposed, and you stink, and we're not taking it anymore because we don't have to. This show is open. You want to come on and chat? We'll do that. I'd love to have you on. In fact, I know everything. It's my business as an investigative journalist to watch your every post, your every talking point, your every Facebook Live. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it like white on rice. Okay? While I'm cooking, I have my little earbuds in and I'm listening to everything coming out of your pie hole. So I'm ready for you. I am going to find you January 22nd, and I'm going to make you famous. And I'm going to ask you direct questions. So we'll see you soon, boys.
You talk better trash than a 1970s Montreal hockey player, man.
That was all.
Oh, I know. The truth is easy to sell. The truth is easy to sell. I'm moved to hear you just share this because indeed it's where new news gets its news. And you have these things on your heart and you have shared them and you have called folks out. And that's what leaders do. And if someone disagrees, come on, let's talk about it, right? Or as you say, talk about it. We talk about it. Right? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so thrilled to have had this hour with you. My shows are always targeted for 59 minutes. That's an inside secret, but 59 minutes. But I think we've only hit it once, Val. We've done 1.5 hours. We did a 3.5 hour show. Can you believe that? Closest thing I saw to that was Tucker Carlson interviewing Alex Jones. Hour and 34 minutes, beautiful long form interview. Anyhow, but we're going to be wrapping up here at, boy, it looks to me, if my baby boomer math is correct, in about 3 minutes. And I just want to take this time because, again, the nice thing about it is there's going to be more shows. And we have also done ad hoc shows. Val, remember ad hoc? That's my old Mohawk College marketing 101 term, where you just do a show right on the spot for a specific reason, just like in the business world. So we technically could have an ad hoc show this afternoon. We do tomorrow. We could do whatever we want, right? Because this is the free platform we're working with, and that was the reason we did it in the first place. Want to wrap real quick on my end. Just once again, my website, gregmeakin.com, my YouTube channel, at Greg Meakin. It's stunning, really, Val. We've had full episodes on this. I'm almost at 1,000 videos. I did that as almost a little goal, a little game, 1,000 videos on my YouTube platform. And so far, we've talked about it, 25,000 views and almost 500,000 impressions, 6 different countries, 55, 56 cities. A bunch. And in my number one city, I still can't believe it, I'm pinching myself, is Calgary. We've had full episodes. I'll wrap on my end. Turn it over to you. Thank you so much, including the stuff on your heart. We're going to be talking about this stuff, Val. These are going to, in some cases, be full episodes or even ad hoc episodes. So got about a minute. Take a minute. Sign off. God love you, everybody. God love you, everybody out there. The most I hear from folks is by email. The stuff you won't see for the most part on social media. I love email, and that's where so much of the AB51 vote folks have come from, is via email. Sue, I'll wrap with this, and forever and ever, including Wednesday, December 20th, 2023, is wake up in kindergarten every day. There is so much to learn and so little time, because before you know it, you're in grade 1. That's my wrap, Val.
This is Secrets from the Inside, episode 009, today's newest and hottest radio show on the internet. I am Val Olson, Greg Meakin's facilitator for you. For now, there are only 2 places you can hear Secrets from the Inside. One is this X platform, At Home Media Mom. The second is Greg Meakin's amazing YouTube channel, at Greg Meakin. The first secret is Secrets from the Inside is one of a kind. The producer, the host, and the guest are all one person. Greg Meakin calls himself a producer, publisher, and radio guy. But this is an inside secret. Greg is also the writer, the pre-show prep guy, a live producer, host, and guest, the post-show production guy, the publisher, and yes, the sales and marketing guy.